And I'll walk over here. And as Malcolm kindly introduced me, I've been in the Volvo Group for 24 years in different positions within product development. The last 6 years, I've been responsible for a function called Strategy, Architecture and Systems, where we deal with laws and regulations, we deal with product architecture, we deal with IT systems connected to product development and keeping track of the products over the lifetime, and also actually checking compliance. And when ECHA came with their specification of the database, which you find here, you can also find it on the Commission web pages, I started to get really concerned. And I will explain why. Because in my company, Volvo Construction Equipment, we have more than 500,000 part numbers in production and in the aftermarket, so active part numbers for our customers. And our engineers develop some 30,000 new part numbers every year when we are developing new products for automation, connectivity, or regulatory updates, or just expansion of our offer. And ever since Volvo took on the environment as one of the core values in 1973, that's 47 years ago, we have been actively, together with our suppliers and our engineers, chasing substances of very high concern. So this is the current list of substances of very high concern that we have in Volvo Construction Equipment. You can find it on our dealer portals. It's available for our customers, dealers, and next users according to the REACH framework, and we have a rather good track of this. It's not very thick. But these new requirements then from ECHA, they impose a little bit more work on us. So when we are going to produce one machine, and this is a Lego wheel loader, it happens to have 2,543 part numbers in it, which is actually quite representative for a real wheel loader. It's some 2,000 to 3,000 parts, depending on specifications. We have to of course, choose out of our 268 different models that we have. And we take the recipe. And those of you who have played around with Lego, you know how it works. You have a bill of material of an excavator, or in this case, then a wheel loader. And we need to merge this information with this information. So for every produced machine, we need to provide ECHA with a dossier of information that will be this big. This is 2,500 papers. There are 43 missing. And then some will say, but you don't need to report where we don't have substances of concern. Well, the problem is, in order to know that we don't have substances of concern, we need to check. So it's really going from here to here. But it's even worse. It's not only one pile, it's 20,000 piles of information. And on top of this, and this is where I get really goosebumps, there are requirements in the database which are clearly outside the legal framework and not connected to the REACH obligations at all. And one of these little details is ECHA wants us to report the tax codes for every single sheet here. Every single part number, the tax codes. And in Volvo, we have 22,000 tax codes. So depending on if I have a part, let's say an oil filter, going as a spare part from Germany to Sweden, this has one tax code. If it's an oil filter, which is a part of a machine going from France to Spain, it has another tax code, and we have to write that tax code down there on every single paper, and we have 20,000 of these piles. There are other concerns in here, since this pile of information will of course contain the product structure and information on the product structure. We are giving away information on product structures, our supply chains, and you can also check our volumes in production, which is actually a thing we are not allowed to disclose until we do our formal financial reporting. So there are several things in here which has not been thought through, and all of it is connected to the fact that there has been no impact assessment done together with industry. This is a key issue.